Welcome to today's episode. It is a very exciting episode because this is our 1-year anniversary of us podcasting together.
Woohoo!
So today we're going to cover like the highs and lows of our life, but also highs and lows of the podcast.
Yes. Why you should just start a podcast if you want to. Why you should just do anything you want to do and just stop making excuses. We talk about worms a lot. Sorry about us.
Welcome to Under the Sun Podcast. I'm Ilea.
And I'm Irene. Grab a cup of coffee and your comfiest sweats and join us every Monday as two best friends discuss everything from raising free-range gremlins to business and really everything under the sun.
Let's get started and thanks for being here.
Hi.
Yay. Hi.
It has taken us 45 minutes to get this podcast rolling.
Yes, it has.
And this is the 1-year podcast journey in a summary of...
Oh, yes. We're just doing our best.
In case you guys didn't know, now you do. Today marks Irene and I's 1 year of podcasting together. We have...
Hooray!
51 episodes because we didn't post an episode on Christmas. So this is our 52nd week. And we're just going to recap, highlights of the podcast, wins and losses, and probably a lot of tangents along the way. I'm assuming.
It's my favorite part.
It is my favorite part too. Because it's like, I had an idea. And listeners, tell me what you think about this. Whenever we get whatever our final location is for a podcast area, whether that's our room or we find like a studio somewhere, we should set it up like a coffee shop. Like,
that would be so cute.
Like you and I in a coffee shop type, like, I don't know, vibe, whether it's a couch that we can sit on and then I think if we're at that phase in success, we could buy a business expense espresso maker.
Yes, I am for that.
And then we have like gourmet espresso every episode.
Yes.
But anywho, how are you?
I'm here for it. I'm good. I have like residual sneezes because the weather keeps yo-yoing from like, but they don't know, from like -12 to 60. So it's doing fun stuff to my nose.
Maybe that's why I'm sniffly too.
Probably.
I'm going to use
Do you think the milk could be affecting you, the raw milk, or do you think...
I've been doing milk, so...
That's what and it's just recent. I don't know if it was like catching up with you or not.
It's like the last couple of days. No, I'm just a little sniffly. And I feel like no matter what, in every video ever, my nose is just a little red, always, all the time.
Oh no.
Always, every time, but it's okay. So
I don't notice it if it makes you feel better.
Thanks. It's one of those things I notice about myself. But
yeah,
it's also like when we go to podcast and like things get in the way, one of my toxic traits is like, we're just not supposed to be doing this. We should just quit. Like, why is that my mindset of like, this is just too hard? Why is it always hard? Why is it my brain thinks that things should be easy? Like, what entitlement?
I don't know if that it's entitlement or I have a hard time discerning. Is it hard because I'm not supposed to be doing it? Or is it hard because I'm supposed to work harder? And I'm like, did God close the door? Or am I just a lazy piece of garbage? Like, how am I supposed to know that?
Yeah. So. We're both really good at finding middle grounds of like, not extremes. Like, it's either quit or go all in.
Yes. Oh, my favorite thing is when we're shopping and you like something and I always ask you, do you want me to talk you into it or out of it? Because I can do both. But the downside to that is I do that to my own brain for everything. And then I second guess and third guess and fourth guess. I'm really good at talking people into or out of stuff.
Yeah. I'm trying to get more balance when it comes to like extremes. Because I have been accused of having a personality like Bulldog from Frasier, where it's like, where's my shirt? Where's my shirt? And it's like, here's my shirt. And I just have an intense inflection. I don't actually feel.
I love it though.
I don't feel rage. If I feel rage because I'll say like, I'm pretty open and transparent with, I feel like my feelings. I'm like, hey, like you made me mad or you hurt my feelings. Like, whatever. Yeah. But I'm kind of bulldoggy and just the way I communicate.
I love it though.
But also,
you know how much footage I have of you screaming in Jake's ear random songs just for the heck of it?
Yeah.
They're my favorite.
Yeah. Oh, we should. I'm going to bring up the cruise once more.
Yes, it wasn't even me this time.
I never edited our like ropes chorus video, so we should release that this week because that's like a fun piece of we've been doing this 1 year. I should put that together.
Yeah.
Sorry
Yeah,
about
good.
us as people, guys. We're trying our best. Like,
I actually made last week, because I'm supposed to be in charge of like the Photoshop carousel things. I made a carousel. It looks so cute. It was like the whole entirety of the Ecclesiastes that I was reading off last week.
yeah.
In a swiper with like my own little notes of like, hey, like it's okay. There's season for this and a season for that. And it's okay if this is not your season. And then it exported. I thought you could export it and like upload it as a panorama and it would let you swipe.
Oh, no.
You can't. You have to chop it up. And then I was like, I made the whole thing. I exported it. I'll chop it up later. And then in my brain, I exported it once, so it was done. So
Well,
one
do
day,
it.
everybody will get fresh content from us.
Do it, because that would be a fun piece of content.
And I save a lot of like verses and stuff that I see that are just encouraging that I like. So
You can create
that might be a
folders
nice
within
one to have on there.
Instagram, which I really like, that you can...
yeah, that's right. All of
like-
mine, everything, all of it is saved into one. So if I ever need to reference it, good
You'll
luck to me.
scroll for 10 years. I'm a save junkie. I save lots of things thinking that I'm going to remember that this exists. But then when I go to do whatever thing, I forget that it's there until I'm out looking for something else. So I don't even know why I save things in the first place. Anyways, how's your week going?
Good. Do you have a high?
Yeah, high is that it was 61 degrees here. And
Yes.
we live in the Midwest, so that's basically tank top weather. And especially
Yep.
in the sun, like I literally had a tank top on out while I was doing farm chores. Because like obviously the
Yay.
second it gets warm, I'm like outside doing projects that I've
Yeah.
been meaning to do. Side note of a high, on one of those 60-degree days, I was like, oh, our steps need replaced. I'll just build new steps. And so I threw them in the fire, which is great. I threw our steps in the fire, I was going to do it, but then I don't know if anybody else's husbands do this. Like I wanted to build steps. Like I wanted to learn how to build steps.
Yeah.
And
We've been
then
watching Homestead Rescue on it.
Yeah, I've been just watching like how to do things, and I want to like develop
Yeah.
these skills on how to build.
Yep.
Well, I don't know why he does this, but he like took over the project entirely, and then I didn't do any of the steps, and I could tell he was like a little stressed, like I need to do the steps this week, and I'm like, well, that was my plan for the weekend for
Yeah.
me to do the steps, and he's like, oh no, like I feel like I should do it, not like he thinks I can't do
Yeah.
it, but I think he will. I don't know. Does Jacob do that? Does he ever hijack project?
No, I'm the opposite. I'm like, I really need this shelf hung. Hey, can you help me hang it? And it's one of those where he's like, yeah, sure, I'm happy to help. And then like a week goes by, I'm like, hey, can we hang these shelves? Yeah, sure. And then finally I'm like, I need this shelf up. Like my laundry detergent is on my toilet seat. Like, please put the shelf up. Then I'm like, oh, it's too heavy. Oh, help me. And he's in the kitchen like, you can probably do it yourself. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Doesn't work. Because he knows I'm capable, which is the problem. And I'm
Yeah.
like, my uterus, I can't. And he's like, don't pull that with me. Go. Fine. So, no, mine's the opposite. I don't want to do anything construction-wise. And, yeah.
I go back and forth. I'm like, it depends on my involvement with parenting that day. Like I don't want to
Yeah.
do full on construction like saw and like table saw, all that stuff
Yeah.
while also having a child nearby. So if it's like a heavy construction project, I'm like, no, like one of us has to do the other because I don't want my kid near a saw. So,
Yeah.
but that's probably
Yeah.
my high. What's your high?
Oh, I have a high for you.
You got high. I'm just kidding.
I pulled an 8-inch worm out of my butt.
No, you did not.
Sure did.
Tell me everything.
Okay. But the low
Send me
is
a
that I'm
picture,
not.
damn it.
Well, I was like super freaked out though, which is funny. I think because if it was somebody
My
else's
heart is
butt, I would-
stopping so fast. Like, going,
if it was someone else's butt, I would gladly get in there and be like, let me help you out. But I think because I was like, oh, it's coming out of my own body, it freaked me out. So then I just grabbed like way too much toilet paper because I didn't want to have to touch it, grabbed it and then pulled it and then it broke. And then I was really freaking out. So then my low is that I'm not 100% sure I got the whole thing. It's probably like bleeding toxins into my
do a enema
body.
or like just do a water enema. Why do I always have to say this? Why do I would really like to stop telling people to shove tubes up their butt, but like this is a really
Well-
quick remedy to get these things out.
Okay, but one kid goes to bed at midnight and one kid wakes up at 7 and I am literally
Give them
never
their
alone.
iPads and say, watch these iPads while I go.
true.
Like, it takes 10 minutes. It could take 5
We've
if
been
you wanted to.
detoxing them for
Have
a
you?
week
Oh, on with
So-
what?
with iPads.
Oh, detoxing them. Did you watch that podcast
yeah.
I sent you?
No, but their little attitudes have been whatever. And it's been nice out. It's like if it's
Yeah.
negative 30 outside, like, okay, here's your iPad. We're all
Yeah.
bored. But if it's 60, like,
Yeah.
go in the yard. So
There's a guy I
but
want.
it might actually distract them long enough because I haven't had it in so long.
Yeah. Do it. Oh my gosh, when did this happen? Give me all the details.
2 nights ago. So this is going to spin off into another story. I've had my Parasite kit forever. And then Christmas was coming and I was like, well, I'm going to spend Christmas not stressed and like eating cookies with the kids and baking or whatever. Then January hit and then I needed to make sure I was like 100% I am not pregnant. So then, I had to wait for my period to come and go. And then my birthday came up. I was like, well, I'm going to eat cake on my birthday. And I kept thinking of all these like reasons. I'm very, and this is toxic of me, and I know this from like my younger years, but if I can't do it 100%, I'm not doing it at all. And so finally the other day, I got glutened last Saturday while I was at work. So I was super sick all day. I had to like leave on a brand new client who for some reason still rebooked, but she was brand new and I was like, hey, like I'm probably going to have to go puke. Everything's fine. I just have really bad food allergies and I think like something got me. So she was super sweet about it, but I had to leave her appointment like 5 or 6 times to go puke as I'm just trying to cut and blow dry her hair. So anyways, that was it. And I felt like garbage. And then like my head residually after a contamination will have like a low grade headache all week following a migraine. So not fun. Then part of me was like, well, I already feel like garbage anyways. But I don't have food prepped. I'm going to eat sugar because the kids and I are baking for Valentine's Day. And then Nova's birthday is coming up. So that's in the 30 days. And I was like listing off all these reasons why I shouldn't just start it.
Yeah.
Then I heard Kim's voice in my head saying like, don't. And plus I'm still not pooping every day. So then all I could hear was Kim's voice saying like, don't overthink it. Just do it. Just don't overthink it. And so like, I think on the day that 2 days ago, I was like, screw it. I woke up early because my daughter refuses to sleep in now. And then, we were up. I was like, well, my stomach's empty. I might as well just start taking it. And then literally by that, I thought it would take a few days to kick in. Took all 3 doses from like 7 a.m. on. And by 9 p.m. there was a worm coming out. Then I made the mistake of telling my husband, who says, oh, and I've been kissing you. And I'm like, thanks a lot, sir, for your consideration of the worm coming out of my butt. So,
Did you take any pictures?
no, that's what I was going to say on that. I grabbed so much toilet paper to like pull it out and then I just let it go. And then when it broke, I started panicking that it was going to like intestinally bleed all over my colon or something. So then, but I dropped the whole wad and it covered it.
Have you
And
pooped
at that point,
any
I was
since?
like, I'm not digging this out. Nothing since. I don't even think I've pooped since. So,
Go do a water enema.
but I'm going to do a colonic probably on the full moon. I'm going to book it out in
When
advance.
is that?
The 20 something.
Do
So
it
anyways,
sooner.
I was
Do
really-
it sooner.
You think?
Yeah, you're gonna start
Versus
feeling
when
like
they're
utter
active?
garbage in the next couple of days. Like
See, that's part of it is I started it also because I keep thinking, well, I can't feel like trash at work. So I'm like, well, I don't want to start it and feel like garbage. And then I thought, well, if I start it on, was this Wednesday? Thursday. Because I have to work Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So I started it Thursday. And then I figured, I was talking to Taylor when she was at our house, our friend who did one, and she said it took her a couple days before she felt bad. I was like, okay, that'll have me feeling bad on the weekend when I'm home. So that's why I started it on a work day. But I felt so bad from the gluten. I thought there's no possible way that the like sickness from the detox is going to feel worse than the gluten felt. Because my like contamination episodes are pretty intense, even though I don't have celiac.
Here is what is going to happen. And you can say no, but here's what's going to happen. When I come to pick up this footage tonight, because we're not good preppers and we have this podcast. We're recording this Sunday night and you're listening to this on Monday morning. So
Woohoo!
I'm going to run to her house, pick up the footage so I can edit it really quickly tonight. While I'm there, Irene, I will watch the kids. I will do a craft with them while you go shove a tube up your butt.
Works for me.
Okay? Because like, I don't want you to, it's so bad. It's like you have the worst flu ever. But it's also like a stomach bug. Like, I just don't want you to get there. And
that's, I think, me getting glutened was great for me because like those knocked me out. Like high school aged me, the migraines would get so bad I'd have to go to the ER just to get like morphine and a shot for nausea because they would just be so intense.
oh, jeez.
So I thought there's like no way I could possibly feel worse than this, even if it does hit me like a train.
Yeah, but might as well
On
just
a side note to that, getting that nauseous and puking during work, I had the thought of like, I cannot do this for 9 months. So
yeah.
yeah,
Okay, so that would
I'm
mean
gonna
there's
do it,
probably
but-
a tapeworm, right?
it was either a tapeworm or a flatworm, which apparently a tapeworm is a type of flatworm. But
Okay. Oh, that's so exciting. Okay, well
I was
then
just surprised that it was that instantly. I thought it would be.
that means your
later.
body is like waiting for the
So
right
full.
tools to like get rid of it. Like it's like, hey, just help me out here.
Yeah.
And then your body wants to feel better.
Like that, my own mixture of Gutty from what I could find online, because I forgot to order it and I didn't want to wait the 5 more weeks and give myself like, oh, sorry, I can't start this for 5 weeks till it gets to me. And that just made me really nauseous and pukey. But so do like medicinal over the
that's probably
counter
because
like
you're
medical
pulling-
laxatives.
You're probably pulling metals out, and if you weren't pooping, they're just kind of getting
Yeah.
stuck in there. So, okay, so now that you've
So
started,
anyways, now that
no
the whole
excuses.
world knows all about my bowels.
Okay, so now that
Carry
you've
on.
started, I will come over now once a week for the next 3 weeks, or even twice a week to come sit with your kids if you want to do some type of enema to like
Works for me, but I still am gonna probably schedule a colonic for
do
the
it.
full moon.
Do it, but like just let's freaking band together as I don't know. I don't know how to phrase anything that doesn't sound weird, but like I'll bring Leo over, they can play, and I'll just come over for a half hour, whatever. Doesn't have to be
Works
anything.
for me.
And then you can get the poop and the worms out, but you have to take pictures because I need to see worms.
Okay. But no, it was definitely a flatworm or a tapeworm.
Okay, that's the best news. That is not the new high of my week.
Right. Anyways,
But yeah, wow. Yeah, okay, that's the best.
guys, we said that this podcast was going to be us just talking and recapping the year. So you're really at a point where like I kind of just forgot the camera was on and we're talking about my intestines. Welcome to us.
Well, I think what people like is that we're not fake. Like we're talking to each other.
Hey guys, welcome back to our podcast.
Like, oh my gosh, look how clean my house is. Like, ignore the mess. And there's like a piece of dust on the ground. Like, we're like, no,
Right.
we're gross. Like,
Yes.
I have piles of laundry here.
Yep.
Yeah. But there's just been a lot of good highs because we're, it's kind of getting warmer and we're building like a hoop house for our to start our seeds and
Yeah.
stuff, which I'm very excited about. And like now that I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm soon going to be outside all of the time. I need to like clean, like declutter stuff because like I just have too much crap and I'm managing items all of the time. Like there's just too many items. And so I'm going to get rid of a bunch of stuff. So if you need any clothes,
I sure do.
let me know. I'll have you go through them because I have too many. Like, and I don't wear them all the time. I kind of want to try for a little while, like 7 outfits that are like hung up with the pants, the shirt, you know, like exactly how I'm going to wear it and try that for like 7 days and then just kind of like wash that cyclically because we've just gotten out of control with like how many clothes Dave has, how many clothes my kid has. And then I'm just doing like 3 loads of laundry a
but-
day.
Kids need like multiple outfits a day, especially if they're in and outside.
Well, she'll have more than just 7 because there was one day I was working outside. I mean, that first 60-degree weather day that she fell in the creek twice. And she's like, oh no. I'm like, I know what you're doing. But anyways, do you want to share your low?
My low is kind of a universal low, and that is I learned this week that ticks are not just seasonal. Apparently, according to one of my clients who found a tick on her dog's nose, I was like, it's too cold for ticks. And she said they aren't dormant for a season. They're dormant until it's warm. And then they wake up ravenous thinking, oh, it's going to get cold again. So they go into overdrive. Then it gets cold and they hibernate again. Because my kids were outside playing and I was like, oh, I don't even have to worry at all. Didn't like spray them, didn't put oil on them. Nobody had a tick. But now I have one thing to add to my list of mom paranoia.
I'm unhappy about that news. Very unhappy about that news. That sucks, but...
Yeah. Apparently, too, she told me, in case you didn't know this, in the springtime, they're in like their nymph stage and they are ravenous at that point, too. And at that stage is when they will jump off of trees onto you versus like just crawling up. And it's like, oh, wear socks or wear joggers. But in the springtime, they jump from treetops down. So
that's why I make my own bug spray, where like it hopefully would deter them from biting or being attracted. And like,
I also learned they love the color white.
Okay,
so don't wear a lot of white if you're...
Interesting. I wonder if it's because it's easy to see. I don't know.
I'm wondering too, because we have a lot of white-tailed deer in this area. I wonder if they're looking for like that white tail to jump on the deer. But
so what's funny, if you're a person like me, where like I used to go outside and my legs, specifically my ankles, would get absolutely attacked by mosquitoes. Ever since I've done like Parasite, heavy metal, all the detox, I don't know what contributed to it, but now I don't have any mosquito problems. Like they don't.
If you have too much sugar too, like it circulates.
Yeah, we don't
permeate
really
sugar.
eat any refined sugar anymore. Like we just use like maple syrup and honey. So unless we have like, we buy those, what's that brand, the cookies we like sometimes?
Oh, Sweet Lorenz.
Yeah, that's the only time and we have sugar that like, if we like bake brownies or something. Oh, I'm out of break brownies tonight. Okay, I have to like focus. Like we're on a podcast, not just talking as friends. Jeez.
It's okay. The kids and I are making Valentine's Day sugar cookies.
Tonight?
Food dye, probably tomorrow for school or Tuesday for school. And then I got, because I don't know if it was you I was telling this, but Menards, for anybody that cares, Menards has food dye free food coloring. So it's like beet juice, turmeric, carrots. So we'll be able to still have like pink frosting, but
nice. I'm going to go
no
get
red
some.
40.
That's awesome.
They also have 3 different types of sprinkles. Like the balls, the like regular traditional sprinkle shape, and then the little like glassy ones. And sometimes if they don't want to eat like bananas, I'm like, I'll give you a banana with sprinkles on it. So it's a good bribery.
Oh, that's good to know. I'm going to go grab that because I want Leo to experience fun cookie making.
Yeah.
And she's at a fun age where she loves to participate.
Yeah. It's just weird that I have to go to a hardware store to find it. But, here we are.
I went to Kroger for the first time in a really long time, which is a grocery store in our area. And I realized like I don't ever shop in the center aisles anymore. I just shop the perimeter,
Yeah.
Like there's nothing in the center aisles that I even in my mind consider as food anymore.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Even the gluten-free bread is starting to change things.
Yeah.
It's gotten towards just chemicals.
Yeah.
But it's gluten-free. It's like, no, this is still a bunch of chemicals.
Yeah. At that point, you just stop eating bread or gluten-free sourdough, I guess.
Yeah.
Which I've thought about mastering. Anyways.
I'm not making that for sure.
Why not? That's fun.
Sounds terrible.
I'll try it. I'll see if I can figure it out. But
I would rather do your laundry every day than try to make my own bread.
Man, making bread hits that dopamine receptor, like in your brain. Of
Really?
Like, it is so satisfying to me.
Yeah.
So satisfying. I love it. But
I like to do things in foil that are on a person's head, not in my oven.
I don't use foil.
Well,
the aluminum.
Anything that involves mixing and measuring, I'd rather it be a chemical.
Irene, I've shared my chili recipe with her or whatever, and I say recipe loosely because I measure with my heart with all things, and she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Or like my grandma has shared like a dumpling recipe of like mix it until it starts to form a dough, like, and it's a good consistency. She's like, what are you talking about? A good consistency? Like,
what is a good consistency? I've been binge watching Kids Baking Championship, so now I know.
I mean, you bring that up every episode.
I know, but I'm obsessed with it. And I only have like half a season left, and then what am I going to do with my life?
Do something more like not
Switch to
TV.
MasterChef Junior.
No.
I'll just watch other people make it instead of me making it.
How about just implement some stuff. Start making stuff on your own.
Sounds terrible.
I
would eat ground beef every day for the rest of my life and not think twice about it.
Yeah, but you
I
need
just have to feed a family who
in
gets bored.
nutrients. Yeah, you need.
Do we? Because the ancestors just ate the cow on their land and nothing else.
I'm pretty sure they had like chicken and lamb and probably some
Maybe if they were rich.
ostrich. No, I mean like if they had property, most people used to be homesteaders and had a diverse group of cattle. But I think here's the thing though, is that Dave and I were having this discussion about eating with the seasons is great, but our soils are so depleted that like we're actually not getting enough during the season. So then when you go into like winter, like because we don't eat that many vegetables in the winter because we try to eat with the seasons, but like the vegetables we've been eating are just Kroger tomatoes. Like those aren't as nutrient dense as they used to be, so we should probably be eating them year round so that we actually absorb the nutrients, is what's left until we get our garden. Then I never step foot in a grocery store again. But
Yeah, good.
I have plans to like make a crap ton of tomatoes, so like, or just a crap ton of vegetables like leftovers. So, if you're interested.
Yeah, we had an organic garden last spring that Riker and I planted, and he was so excited because we planted it from seeds, and then every day we'd go check and see if it was there. And the day that little green sprout came out, he lost his mind, and it was so sweet. And it got into this big, like, booming plant that we were really nurturing. And then one day I walked outside and it was burnt to a crisp.
Why?
And then I noticed that the field behind me had been sprayed with whatever they spray it with, and there was enough overspray that it wiped out my organic plant. So that's my neighborhood. So that to say too, if you're downwind of any farmers near you, you might need to have some kind of like a wind block. But yeah, I was like I went outside, I was like, it wasn't that hot yesterday. There's no reason all of my leaves should have just immediately browned. And then I realized I heard the tractor the day before. So
Yeah. Don't get me started on modern day farming.
Yep.
So we're trying to do some like regenerative farming. Again, we're first generation. I would say first generation homestead. Like my grandparents had a farm and that's the lifestyle they lived. But like, I didn't unfortunately have this mindset when my grandma was alive to teach me all these things. So like now, I'm just learning from scratch. So TBD if it's actually successful. But
then you should get a cow so you can make your own manure, and I can benefit from your milk.
Except for I don't want to milk a cow every day.
I'll milk a cow every day.
You're
I
gonna
won't make
drive
bread,
to
but
my
I'll
house.
milk a cow every day.
Huh?
As long as I don't have to nurture a sourdough, then I would gladly milk a cow every day.
Yeah.
But this is why we're going to work as a creepy homestead family compound, because we hate the opposite things.
Yeah, I'll handle the birds that I don't really like, but I like them now.
Yeah.
I'm getting more and more used to them. But anywho, okay, so we've been podcasting now together for a year. What are the what's been your favorite moments, favorite interviews,
What's
favorite
great
episodes? What is
that it's going to sound terrible, but like I'm glad that there are forced hangouts. But like life gets busy and we want to hang out, and it's like, sorry, like this is mandatory schedule to hang out, and if you don't do it, when's the last time you had an hour-long conversation with your friend
uninterrupted?
Yeah.
What? Yeah, you're right. That's been really good. For me, it's taught me a lot of discipline because I'm really excellent with ideas and starting things. It is not my strong suit to follow through or be consistent or, keep my word, which is something, it's like a pact I've made with myself that like, if I say I'm going to do something, if I say like, Irene, I'll be at your house at 3:00, I'm going to be at your house at 3:00 because I want to be a person who my word means something. And if I like for some reason didn't show up at 3:00, you'd be like, Leah always says, so like she crashed on the side of the road because she keeps her word. So I just like what it's like. I've never done anything for 365 days
Yeah.
like consistently. So I'm really proud of that.
I like that it's less about, it's taught me the less about being perfect.
Yeah.
Because there's so many times where we've lost footage or the lighting was bad or the audio was bad. Like, we could just scrap it this week. It's like, nope, we're doing it.
Yeah.
Whether it sounds terrible or looks terrible, we're doing it.
Yeah.
So that's been fun.
There is something to be said about like authenticity of like, even when we don't feel like podcasting, we just, say like, we're in a slump, and,
Yeah.
we just communicate that. And I feel like that's what the listeners really appreciate. But if you're listening to this, thank you. My stomach just growled. But also, like, tell us like what you've like appreciated about this year, what you would like to see maybe in the future. I don't know, highlights. I don't know. Share your thoughts over the last year. My probably like, what is my favorite episode? Which one was your favorite? I like the one with Mama a lot.
That was a good one.
Also, like, just the scenery was great, and like just the cool hangs and stuff.
Yeah.
Also, did I tell you I accidentally stole a coffee mug from her?
No.
We at one point were like drinking coffee or whatever, and everybody decided to like hop in the cars and go somewhere. I can't remember where. And I like took my coffee cup with me, and then we were in a rental, and so like our car was just messy because we were on a road trip and we're family, so it was just chaos, whatever. And then when we got home and unpacked, I was like, oh, I have her coffee mug.
Yeah.
And I'm a thief because I use it now like almost every day. And I'm like, shoot, I need to return this. I need to like
oh no,
mail it back to her. Oh no, I have to go.
She did say if we ever go on a girls only road trip to call her.
Yeah, I would
A
love
little
that.
getaway.
But that one was a good one.
Yeah. I just like anytime the poor listeners had to listen to us like a silent hiss, cackle,
Yeah.
breathe. Those are my favorites.
Which I do think is harder to like, we need to like get back to in person.
Yeah.
Which this is good. This works for now and while we're in between spaces or whatever. But like, I feel like just, we don't cackle as much when we're virtual.
Yeah. Yep.
But I guess like downside of this last year, do you have any downsides? Or things you learned?
I don't love these distance ones. I like that we're doing it just to do it, but that kind of has not killed the fun, but kind of, because I've missed that like in person, looking in the eyes. Like, we're looking at each other's eyes, but then like sometimes I try to look at the camera and then it's like I'm thinking too much about the technical and not about like the feeling of being there, I guess. Does that make sense?
There's like,
But I don't know if I have a lot of lows, just highs in my mind. But I also have not been super helpful for you, so that's a low. I have a lot of guilt of not being the most helpful co-host, but I shot my health and my adrenals and my everything last year, so.
yeah, well, let's get you healed up and then we'll figure it out. But
Yeah.
for those
let's
who
get more than, let's get the entire worm out, not just 3/4 of it.
how do you know that wasn't the whole worm? Did you investigate it? Did you like look at it? You didn't look
No,
at it?
I
You
just
didn't
pulled
like
it out. Well, I pulled it out and I was like, okay, remember the look so I could look it up later. Then there was still some there, so I like tried to pull it all out, but like I didn't feel, this is TMI, sorry everyone. I didn't feel anything when I was like pulling the rest of it out. So there was not like,
That's
oh, I
because
can
it's
feel
not
that coming out and it's
yeah,
over.
okay.
It was just like out. I'm like, I hope I got it all. I think I got it all. And I sat there for another 10 minutes just to see if anything else came out. Nothing did.
So did it, okay, so
here's hoping.
here's a TMI question. You don't have to answer, but I would prefer if you did. So you went to go poop, right? It just
Sure,
came
yes.
out on its own?
Yeah.
Was it alive?
Just did. It didn't move, but then I don't know, when I ripped it in half, it didn't move from there.
So why was it coming out? Like, how did it know to come out? Was your body pushing it out?
I don't know.
I have so many
I didn't even know it
questions.
was TMI. Sorry,
Tell me,
people. And
I have
but
to
like,
know.
well, I pushed, and and just looked down on the toilet. I was just like looked down, and I just saw it hanging. So I wouldn't have even known it came out, except it was just there. I was like, oh, well, that's fun. So
Okay, now here's a question, and wow, how many times can we say TMI in a 30-second span? Was it coming out your butthole or your vagina?
butthole.
Okay.
I would probably cry if it came out of my vagina. I don't know why.
That happens, you know.
That's like my sacred baby space. Stay out of there.
Okay, to recap, just so everybody knows,
Yes.
we obviously used to be, just in case you're new, we used to be in a studio area in Irene's old salon basement. And she's in a different location now, so we don't record there, and so we're doing it virtually, which I agree that like I missed the in person. We'll get back to it hopefully soon. Maybe like we should put a goal for March or something.
Yeah.
I can get that room finished or whatever. But it's just such a kerfuffle to have to like move cameras all the time now. And like, yeah.
Okay, yes, but our camera, I mean, yours is in your bedroom, mine's in my bedroom, and we had friends over. And before they came over, Jacob was like, please tell her you were podcasting in there. And I was like, she knows we podcast. He was like, no, please say the words, we were podcasting. And I was like, I think I might just let her think we have a full camera kit in here because it makes me laugh. And I did tell her, but
so
it did make me laugh.
We have a window over here, and every time I go to set up and like turn the lights on, I close the curtains because I don't want them seeing like my neighbors who live behind me seeing me turn on lights. It's like, that's weird.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
Yeah. I would say lows, a couple things. Yeah, because I want to get to the struggles too, because like sometimes like it's hard. We all know it's hard to do anything consistently. And so like, and especially if you don't feel like you've done a good job. Like there's a couple episodes that like, you know, either my brain wasn't firing, I felt dumb, I was like, oh, I don't look like, you know, like, just the things that get in the way. And I'm like, I don't want to post this, but then like there's that little voice that says like, no, you made this commitment, you have to post this, and then you do it, and then almost every time, which is pretty remarkable, that we have like a positive response from most of the episodes that I absolutely hate, which is interesting. So there's something to just showing up and just getting out of your head and just doing it. Also, like every time we have a reel go viral, I find myself like, I'm proud because I'm like, wow, we make like viral content. That's great. Part of me is also like I get overwhelmed by the comments and I find myself like retreating and not want to be on social media at all.
Yeah.
What do you like? Do you ever feel that? Because I just get like overstimulated by all the notifications, and I have no problem with people being like they're dumb or whatever. Like I don't care about that, but like I'm like, oh, too many notifications, trying to keep up, and I'm like, I just want to go into a hole.
I nurture the first few, and then after that, it's just usually people arguing amongst themselves. So I just let them go.
Any struggles from the last year you want to recap? I mean, you showed up even when you were shutting down your business, which is
barely. I felt like my brain was mush all of those episodes, but
but you showed up.
But we still did. Yeah, we still did it.
Proud of you for that.
Yeah,
it's also like there's something to be said to, for like if you're a mom, and like there's been many times where I'm like, oh, I'd rather just like play with my baby, or you know, I have things to clean, or all the things. Like I don't want to edit an episode. I want to edit a reel. Like I don't know. There's something about like building a legacy for my daughter of like, okay, like if this could be a business where we could make some freaking money. Which, by the way, Irene, we should do an ad for Rogers Hood real quick since we.
We better, because apparently day one it works.
In case anybody doesn't know, RogersHood.com is a parasite like tincture protocol that you take orally for 30 days. And Irene just started it, and a worm came out her butt the first day.
Literally first day. And it tastes, some people are weird with taste, but like, just get over it. It's like a really bitter tasting tea. And the taste goes away pretty quickly. And you need to drink a lot of water anyway, so you can like water it, drink a bunch of water after to get it down, but do it. And if you use code UTSP10, you get 10% off of your kit. It takes like 5 to 6 weeks to come in because they hand make everything. And then like grow their own herbs, so you know you're getting good quality ingredients. But yeah, order it and then give yourself plenty of time, and then don't overthink it.
I mean, if this episode isn't an ad for Rogers, I don't know what is. But what's funny is Dave did the same thing. Dave did it for 30 days, and he won't let me see his poop.
Is the 30 days over already?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that went fast.
January 7th.
Yeah.
Huh. And he wouldn't let me look at his poop, and he wouldn't do any enemas and whatever. But
Did he even look at all?
No, I don't. I think he looks sometimes. But I'm pretty sure he was confused. But the thing is I noticed like his face inflammation went down significantly.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. Like I'd never like looked at him and been like, oh, like my face looks inflamed. Like it wasn't that, but it was like his eyes were less puffy and his like face was kind of back to like a little bit more lean. Not like he hadn't lost any weight. I think it was just like,
just like stress, inflammation.
Yeah, I don't know, but he said it was like, you know, he feels better after it, which is good. But yeah, I'm proud of us for 30 days. I'm grateful that people listen. Like we upload in like pretty consistently, like we have like a consistent listenership, which is redonkulous.
Or when people in person are like, oh, I listened to last week's podcast. I'm like, don't listen to me. Don't look at me.
It's weird. It's weird.
It is.
It's weird to be an adult and have a forward-facing platform, which is interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, any further thoughts?
I don't think so. Just I know we've had some questions on like, should I start a podcast? How do I do this? What do you use? And I will say, I am using all of my husband's fancy equipment that I don't know how to do anything or push any of the buttons, and he always has to start my end of the podcast, despite telling me how to use the camera every single time.
Irene!
I just don't. It was not in my capacity of purely survival that I was in last year. But all that to say, when we first started doing any video work, like I had like that crappy little blue Sony I used to follow everyone around with when we did vlogs back in the day. At a certain point, you just have to do it. And then I still prefer to use my camera. The only reason I don't is because Jacob won't let me. So
you can just do
whatever
it
you, even if it's just your cell phone and your friend and you want to talk, you'll find the people that are there to listen to you and they don't necessarily care like what it looks like. Yes, it probably needs to sound good, but even then we've had some that have sounded terrible and we just did the best we could.
I get stuck in wondering what people are going to think about it. And it's like, who is it that says, don't let the fear of striking out keep you from playing the game?
Cinderella story, Hilary Duff.
That's not who it originally is.
But that's who my brain fills it in with, and that's who 99% of our listener demographic is going to think about.
Well, that's why I know it. But I'm saying it's like it's an actual saying from like a baseball player.
What is baseball?
I don't know. The Super Bowl is right now. Who knew? I didn't know. But like that I want to do like a whole episode of like life-changing sayings that have like changed my mind or that I say to myself, like, or that like I have written down that I like refer back to when I'm like in a doom cycle of despair. So that's an episode that will probably come up soon. But like, don't let, like, if you wonder every single time everything you post what someone's going to think of it or what someone's going to say, like potentially behind your back, who cares?
Yeah.
Like
I just heard one the other day. Where did I hear it? I wrote it down. I don't know where I heard it from. Probably Instagram. But it said, you don't make content for your enemies. You make content for your fans.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, okay. Doesn't matter if people hate it. I'm not making it for those people. I'm making it for the people that care to listen to what we have to say.
Yeah. And not to mention, like, it's, you know, they've seen that, I'm sure you've seen that reel of like you posted something on your timeline and you get 5 likes, and you post something to your story and it gets 500 views. So you know people watch what you're doing, but they don't necessarily like it and support it. And I've found that to be so freaking true of just over the years of being a performer / now on podcasts, that like you can't wait to start the thing you want to start. And like, how do I want to say this? You can't wait to start the thing you want to start and wait for that validation from other people, because you'll never get it. Or you'll get it for a little bit and then that like dopamine will like wear off. You have to like be your driving force, which is even if your driving force is like just on cruise control, like, because there's been some times like where we post an episode where like I have no bandwidth to make a reel, to like promote it a whole bunch. I'm just like, here's the episode. I'm showing up today.
Got it out there.
Yeah, I'm showing up today the best way I can, and that's like, that's fine. Like that's okay.
Yeah. Well,
But-
we've been going to the gym again and again. I'm trying really hard this year not to be 100% or 0%. I'm trying to just cruise control this year until, I don't know, my new baseline flattens out. But I would typically rather not go to the gym if I'm not going to put full effort into a workout. And now, the other day, I was on my way home from work and I was exhausted and I didn't want to go. But my trick to that was I hate wearing sports bras. And I wore my sports bra to work because I knew I was going to be uncomfortable all day. And I was like, well, I'm not going to waste a day of discomfort to not go to the gym. I also wore my toe socks for my toe shoes. And I was, well, I'm not going to be uncomfortable in toe socks all day. So literally the only reason I went to the gym is because I already had toe socks and a sports bra on. I went in, I walked for like maybe 10 minutes. And normally like I'll start walking and then like I know which songs will spike my adrenaline and I'll just run. Anyways, this time I just walked. I did a teeny tiny bit of physical therapy and then I left. And that was it. And normally like old me would have said, what a waste of my time. Why did I do that? Coasting me is like, I went when I said I was going to go and I at least walked in the door and I may have only been there 15 minutes, 20 minutes, but I at least walked in the door.
That's probably like when your nervous system has been pinging and like your adrenals are probably, you know, on high alert or like, you know, dead. Like it's, that's probably sometimes what you need is just to go for a walk. I know sometimes I get in the way of like, oh, like I need to like do this like complicated workout and like I need to sweat like crazy. It's like maybe you do a 10-minute video on YouTube where it's pretty simple and basic because we don't need to reinvent the wheel every single time you start to do a thing. Like that's my thing is like, I think other people struggle with this too, that we try to make it way harder on ourselves than it actually is. Like it's actually not that hard. Cut out like processed food, meaning like if it has a label with ingredients on it, like cut it out for a little while. Just eat meat, vegetables, rice, like quinoa.
And I will say like, we're still eating, we eat better at my house. But even with like the packaged goods, like sometimes I'd swing by and grab the kids gluten-free donuts or whatever. And we're still having sugar and we're still having refined sugar, but it's me making a cake that the kids and I eat for like a week. It's not me buying donuts that have 45 ingredients and half of them are preservatives. It's like fresh. And if we don't eat it in a few days and it starts to get a little like weird, I'll just throw it away. And it feels good to eat not processed and not crap. Even if you're not eating like sugarless or whatever, just at least for me for now, it's like you just get rid of the preservatives and let my body process like real food.
Okay, so you make a cake.
Just the real foods.
Like how many are you like using a box or are you
usually from
making?
scratch now? Yeah,
Damn,
we're making cakes.
Girl, good for you. See, okay, because I didn't want to.
I'm inspired by children.
But see, that's the thing. It's like, okay, that cake box, like the cake you made for your birthday, which I know it sounds weird that she made her own cake, but she's good at making cakes. Delicious. Like
that one was a box.
Like I know that's what I'm saying. It was delicious. But I'm sure the ingredients list is like 30 plus because of all the things. And there are certain things like, okay, we used to buy like the cinnamon sugar, like coffee cake, whatever. Like we used to buy that a lot.
Oh yeah.
And it has like so many ingredients. Now I just make it from home with sourdough discard and gluten-free flour, which I know it sounds counterintuitive, but trust me. Like I make it a similar version of that for ourselves, and it's maybe 8 ingredients. Yeah. And I think,
or even like pancakes. Jacob's been doing a lot, and I brought home a pancake mix just to be quick the other day because Nova was asking for it, and Jake was like, "This is not what we had the other day." I was like, "Well, this is faster. You just add an egg and add an oil." And he's like, "No, the kids and I like adding in the baking soda and adding in everything from scratch." So they're even if they're doing pancakes, it's all from scratch, which has been pretty fun.
That's awesome. I'm like, that's great because it's like pancakes aren't the devil. It's the like 50 ingredients because people have been eating pancakes for forever. Yeah. Maybe not necessarily with a whole bunch of maple syrup, but like what?
But then maple syrup at a restaurant is not even maple syrup. It's corn syrup and like cinnamon. It's not maple syrup from a tree, which you can't eat too much of or you get sick. Where like table syrup, you can just keep going. Your body doesn't realize how much you're actually getting.
It's a mess. But what were we even talking about?
Just doing better.
Yeah.
Making better choices. You know, it doesn't have to be perfect, but
I think
your
there's
podcast doesn't have to be perfect, but just do it. You're never going to have a perfect scenario for anything. Just gotta go.
well, that's the whole motto of. Well, there's also this thing I've been like mulling around. I was listening to. Do you know who John Piper is?
I don't think so.
I've only started listening to a couple of his videos the last couple weeks, so I don't know much about him. But Ali Stuckey has recommended some of his like books and stuff, and so I was listening to a video where he was talking about how God, like, you can't plan your life. Like, you can't. Like, no matter what you do, you can't plan it. Like, you didn't plan who your parents were. You didn't plan the like the way you came into this world. You didn't plan like the hospital you were born at, the state you were born in, the country you were born in. You can't control any of it. So why do you think that when you grow up, you can actually dictate what's going to happen? And he was like, you know, there are certain people you will meet, certain skills you will learn that you never would have thought like could be a career. And then suddenly it, you know, like it pans out. And that's how God is guiding like the people in your life and the trajectory of your life is by like him controlling it, even though you maybe think you're doing it. Anyways, I say that all to say that like I never thought I would be a video editor. I didn't plan on that. I kind of had like honestly, like if I really think about my career, like I never really thought of anything. Like I didn't have a real passion for anything. But I didn't plan to be a video editor. We just had a video editor like up and leave us, and I had to learn this skill at the drop of a hat. And now here I am, and God gave me that skill because I think we were born in this time intentionally. God wanted us here to relay a message. And right now, I think that message for us is to like relay to other women that like, it's okay to be a mom. It's okay to like be a Christian. It's okay to, you know, have certain values that are really frowned upon in this culture. And that's okay. And it's okay to not be perfect. Like we're just finding a community who's like building each other up. But all that to say that like, I think it's like I've been mulling around the idea that it's a very divine thing that like we're here in this space right now, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to share like the things I've learned because or we both learned because like 5 years ago I didn't give a rip about politics, and I don't like politics. I wish I didn't have to think about them, but my favorite podcaster Ali Stuckey talks about like policy matters because people matter, or what is it? Policy matters because politics matter because policy matters because people matter. Like it all trickles down. And if we don't care, like I don't want our kids to have to grow up in a culture where they're not allowed to like be a girl or be a tomboy without like being forced transition. Like I just like it, all the things like I've just changed over the last 5 years so drastically that it's okay to like start something, be consistent with it, and not revolutionize the industry. You know, like and you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Just freaking show up, because half of the battle. What is the statistic, Irene? Like,
we're like we're in the top
10 statistic.
Top 10% of all podcasts ever on Buzzsprout.
Yeah, because most people don't make it past 20 episodes. We're at, I mean, a total, I think, of like 68 or something. But like, that's something. Like, we're just showing up, even if it looks ugly.
Well, because they said, according to statistics, people show up and they're super excited, and then like 2 people listen to their podcast, and then their energy starts going down and their adrenaline starts going down because nobody's listening, and then nobody's listening, then I'm out. Like, how many months did we have no one listening? And then we just kept going because we like conversating.
I would even argue that we would probably benefit from not doing video, besides the fact that we do shorts and reels, because our YouTube listenership is like pretty consistently like 116, 130 people.
Yes. But also please subscribe on YouTube because we're like this close to monetizing.
We're so
there's
close.
my plug-in.
Yeah.
I'm going to look as of this moment. You carry on with your thought and I will be back.
No, here's the thought. Listen, if you're listening to this on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, all the things, could you just do me a favor? Go to your YouTube channel. Just put us on play in the background so that we can get monetized, so we can get paid for this podcast. Because that being said,
this.
Okay.
We need 23 more subscribers.
Only 23?
Only 23, and then we can actually start getting paid for having conversations. Well, and we need 175 watch hours, but like
More
our
watch hours.
podcasts are an hour. Well, our podcasts are an hour and we have about 125. So probably 2 podcasts in we'll hit the hours, but like 23 more people.
Yeah.
That's it.
That would be excellent. Okay. We're so close. So if you could do that, that would really help us. But I don't know. I'm really proud of us. And
Me too.
so like, even, I know you said that, like, you know, because your business was super busy and you were just like on fight or flight the whole time. But like, there's something to me about building a podcast. Like, yes, you're my sister-in-law. Like, you're my friend, but like, you're also family. Like, and that's kind of what like Jacob, my brother, her husband, was having to do with my husband when he was in like a fight or flight situation where he couldn't really give much to the podcast, but he wanted to help build, like, do it and build it. Like, there's something about building something with family that like it makes me, because like I know that this could potentially like feed both of our families, not just like, I don't know. And it's fun to do with a friend where we cackle.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, I have something that I'm saving for when we're in person that I need you to react to. So we'll react to it on a podcast.
Do it now.
No, because I need to like hook up audio for my phone. I need to find the spot in the podcast that I heard so I can just hit play.
Okay.
I just want to see your reaction on it.
Okay. Maybe
So
the next
all. Just
episode, I
remind
think
me
we have
next
a couple,
time we're together.
couple interviews in the next couple episodes, but maybe the next episode, maybe if it's nice outside, you just come and we'll just set up a camera and
That sounds perfect.
that would be fun. But
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm just proud of the things we've accomplished. And okay, so I want to summarize then really quick to say, when we started this podcast, just Irene and I, when we took over, we had 69 followers on Instagram. Now we have 34,000 followers.
Yeah.
How many followers do we have on YouTube?
977.
Okay, so we had, I feel like it was like 23.
It was really
It was
low.
really
I have a
low.
screenshot somewhere, but it's gone.
Yeah. So we had really low, and now we have almost 1,000, which is incredible. Like, there's just, you just got to start. It doesn't have to look good, because it won't. But, and you're going to screw up. Like, you're going to accidentally clear your footage. You're going to accidentally not push record on the audio.
No audio.
Yeah, an hour, no audio. Like, or certain episodes that you think are going to be epic are going to flop, or certain episodes that you're like, this is going to be trash. People are going to be like, this is the most fun episode ever. I love talking to you.
Yeah.
Like, feels like I'm talking to you guys. But yeah, I'm just really proud. I'm excited for the next year. How do you see the next year going? What do you think?
I'm excited. I say we're going to get some pretty cool guests. I think we're going to get some pretty cool trips in where we get to interview people in person and like tour some cool facilities and take people along for the journey, our health journey, and any kind of journey.
Yeah.
Just sounds fun to take people along.
Yeah, I'm very excited. Interviews and like location interviews would be also pretty epic. I would love to maybe like halfway through this year start posting twice a week, 2 episodes a week.
Okay. Yeah.
We'll see how it goes. I just want to see how the listenership goes and lands. But like, I'm thinking maybe like, I don't know, the Monday episode is with a guest, and then I say it's Thursday or something.
fun.
It's just us, and it's maybe not a full episode, like a mini-sode, as if we could probably zip our mouths to keep it into a mini-sode. Maybe that's the extra long episode, like like instead of a mini-sode, something that's way like there is
extra bonus episode.
Yeah, where we're like just in sweatpants and eating ice cream or something.
That sounds fantastic.
Side note.
We need new... Oh, go ahead.
Side note. I made... So, like, we get raw milk from the same guy. I made raw milk, mango, and crushed cherry and maple syrup ice cream.
Yum.
Like, in just my blender. Like, my blender, I just did
amazing.
ice cream. It was incredible.
Sounds delicious.
Incredible. So, and if you ever think, like, oh, eating healthy is trash. I mean, there's probably a lot of sugar in the mango, whatever. But, like, natural sugar's over, like, bull crap.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
That's it. What were you going to say?
On the sweatpant thing, we need updated photos for this year.
Oh my gosh.
And updated sweatsuits. Like a summery sweatsuit.
We need an updated summer outfit. I don't need another sweatsuit.
Or like those cute little things that keep getting advertised to me because Amazon's creepy, where it's like the joggers and the oversized t-shirt that are brightly colored.
Okay. I kind of want to rebrand. What would everybody think of a rebrand? Like
Sounds fun to me.
New pictures. I'm kind of thinking like something, maybe like a bright color that complements both of us. Like a green.
Yeah.
Green.
Yeah.
It's like a nice color
Sounds
for both
great.
of us. I don't know. But
We would know if we could find a color person.
I know. I have someone here. Honestly, like I've reached out to a bunch of people. I just need to follow up. But like it's hitting that
Have
same.
they responded?
Huh? Yeah.
Have they
And
responded
yeah,
yet?
and it's hitting the same brain
no.
receptor in my brain. Shoot, I have a dental bill I need to pay. It's hitting the same receptor in my brain that's like returning an Amazon box or where I'm like, oh, I hate, because I hate, that's what I hated about corporate America was the freaking emails.
Yeah.
I'm like, I hate emails, but that's something I need to do. So,
Yeah.
well, welcome to the most rambly episode ever.
They're my favorites.
Anything
My
else you want to
absolute
say?
favorites. No, I think that's it. Thank you all for being here and listening to us. And yeah, we appreciate you guys.
We're shocked that you
whatever
listen.
weird reason you listen. But
Yeah.
thank you.
We always need podcast recommendation topics.
Yes.
We're happy to just...
Otherwise, you'll just hear about my tapeworm forever.
Oh
so
my gosh.
give us
I
new
can't
things.
believe you didn't take a picture.
It was buried. I was having a minor panic attack. So
Oh, can I say one last thing?
yeah.
I think maybe... Like, okay, so I've loved our nursing journey, Leo and I. Like, I've loved... I would say up until like 18 months, I was like, no problem. Anytime, anywhere. I don't care. I'll nurse you as long as you want. And then after like 18 months, I was like, I'm getting a little sleepy.
Yeah.
I would like for this to maybe come to an end. Now she's 20
Yeah.
months and we've had like probably since Monday night where she hasn't been doing a night feed.
Good.
So, like, I mean, she'll wake up and ask for it and I'll just like comfort her and soothe her because she still sleeps with us in our bed. And I'm like, love you. I'll comfort you another way. But like you're 20 months, like you're not actually hungry. You just want the comfort.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to redirect that comfort into like, hey, patting your butt or just snuggling up together. And so that has then trickled into like she is kind of like regulated herself where she just nurses when she goes down for bed. And then when she wakes up and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I have like 4 or 5 hours. It's been like,
Look at you.
It's been a while since we've nursed. And I'm like, I feel like, I don't know, there's a nice little end in sight where I can do these parasite cleanses and kind of, you know, like rebuild my stores. Cause I want to like, I want to have like 6 months before a next kid. But I'm like, how long is this gap going to be? But also like, 2 children. So.
Well, we're still aiming for 4. So that was the other thing. I was like, if I don't ever just start this parasite cleanse, I'm never going to have another baby because I'm going to be so paranoid. I would have anyways, but I would like to go into it not feeling like death. So
yeah, I mean, that will serve.
That was my driving force, was just, all right, get it done with so I can be pregnant and not have to wait another 8 years before.
Not to mention, like, if you rebuild your nutrient stores for while you're pregnant, like prior to being pregnant, the more nutrients will go to the baby. You won't feel as depleted and exhausted. You'll be a better mom to the 2 kids you already have and set this baby up for success. So it's good, hard work. So, proud of you.
Thanks.
Okay. Thanks for listening to us. Like, we are worms.
Also give us more topics, please, because all we'll talk about is worms. Us being worms, us having worms.
This is now turned into the Worm Podcast.
Good.
Okay. All right. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Yeah, bye.
Thanks for being with us today. Follow us on Instagram at @underthesun_podcast. We'd love to meet you. Please help us out by subscribing on YouTube and leaving a review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. We'll see you next time. Please remember this information is made available to you for informational and educational purposes only. It is in no way a substitute for medical advice.